Ah, the Raw Rumble, the event we all think is the best of the bunch and then get mad when WWE doesn't let it go the way we want. Someone wins that makes us sad, or there's not enough surprises. Yes, the Royal Rumble. What a wonderful time of year. There's a reason we all love it so, and that's because when it is good, it's almost perfect, or at least as perfect as pro wrestling can get. It drums up those emotions inside of you, and if nothing else, sees a bunch of dudes, and in 2018 women, try to hurl each other over the top rope. That's just a lot of fun. Sometimes the simplest ideas are the best. Throughout the years, WWE has come up with some truly special ways to have people dumped out the match as well. And with that in mind, I'm Simon from What Culture, and this is the 10 best WWE Royal Rumble eliminations ever. Number 10, Luger and Hart eliminate each other. Happening at the 1994 Royal Rumble, at the time this was really rather groundbreaking. No one thought we'd see a finish like this, right down to the confusion as to who had actually won the damn thing. With Bret Hart and Lex Luger being the last two competitors to duke it out for a title shot at WrestleMania 10, Hart went to eliminate Luger only for both men to go flying over the top rope, hitting the ground at the same time. Not only was this great booking, which did indeed lead to two World Championship encounters at that year's Mania, but the timing and execution of it was great. It's in no way an easy thing to do. Of course, John Cena and Batista would master it perfectly by accident over a decade later, but again, that was an accident. That also saw Vince McMahon ruin his legs. What a world. Number 9, Rey keeps the dream alive. In the aftermath of Eddie Guerrero's tragic death, fans were pretty set on seeing Rey Mysterio win the World Heavyweight Championship. There may have been a lot of mishandling of this by the WWE, but at least that would be a feel-good moment to enjoy. When Rey entered the 2006 Royal Rumble in the number 2 position though, all those hopes faded away fast. However, this was all a ruse, as yet more good booking saw Rey strategically make his way to the end of the match by biding his time and picking his moments. The final showdown would be the high-flyer Randy Orton. The two came up with an ending that was just wonderful. Orton hoisted Rey up onto his shoulders to just toss him out before Rey used the top rope as leverage. Mysterio reversed it and Hurricane Rana'd Mr. RKO out of the match. Not only did it look great, but everyone that night was overjoyed about the outcome. Now let's never talk about the reign that followed. Number 8, Sheamus takes it home. A lot of people didn't want Sheamus to win the 2012 Royal Rumble. I don't know why, but I guess it's the same reason they didn't want him to win the Money in the Bank either. Just one of those things. With that said, it's hard to criticize how he won it, because the last few minutes of the match were excellent. Going toe-to-toe with Chris Jericho, the pair had an excellent back-and-forth battle that had you on the edge of your seat. This is why, when Sheamus got the better of it, you couldn't help but react a little, even if potentially having Jericho's mid-heel turn character win may have been smarter all around. What most probably remember about this is that Sheamus would use his Mania opportunity obtained here to boot Daniel Bryan in the face and beat him in 18 seconds. So in many ways, this really was a significant part of history. Number 7, HBK versus Taker. In 2018, we all remember the two classic matches Shawn Michaels and The Undertaker had at WrestleMania. They will never be forgotten and will often be brought up when fans talk about the best of all time. Never forget that it all kinda started during the close of the Royal Rumble in 2007. Sure, the DEADMAN and HBK had always had great chemistry right back to 1997, but it was different here. Two beloved good guys having a fantastic wrestling match, despite it being the end of the Rumble. Both played their part excellently too, with Michaels selling like a hero as Taker threw him to the outside for the win. On top of that, this elimination was directly responsible for the story in which the Heartbreak Kid got a serious bee in his body when it came to trying to get the better of The Undertaker, and ultimately, that would be his undoing. Number 6, Maven knocks out the DEADMAN. Has there ever been a more shocking Royal Rumble elimination than this? A proper rookie and someone who had gotten to the WWE thanks to Tough Enough of all things, drop kicking the most established guy in the company over the top rope and to the outside. Madness. Unfortunately for Maven, it also resulted in him getting absolutely destroyed by Taker after this, and seriously, the carnage he causes would never fly in 2018. Chair shots alone are brutal. No one can ever take this away from Maven though, and it remains as jaw-dropping today as it was then. Number 5, Benoit chops down a giant. Straight up, it's never fun talking about Chris Benoit anymore for obvious reasons, but WWE's booking of him for the 2004 Royal Rumble was very well done. The basic story of the match saw Benoit enter at number 1 and somehow outlast all 29 opponents. The best was saved for last, however, as the Big Show found himself trapped in a headlock as Benoit used the Giant's own momentum to slowly shift him over the top rope. It was genuinely unique because of how methodical it was, and as such, it added to the effect. It was almost like chopping a tree down and slowly watching it fall. It also showed that not every elimination has to go at a frantic pace. With the right narrative and idea, anything is possible. Number 4, Shawn Michaels betrays Triple H. Many people say that the last proper good Royal Rumble happened in 2010. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. It did have its fair share of great moments, however, especially when, from nowhere, Shawn Michaels super kicked Triple H right in the mouth and over the top rope. Not only was it surprisingly dramatic, but it added to HBK's current storyline of being desperate to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania 26. If the game was going to get in the way of that, which he indirectly was, then he had to go. Both men sold it wonderfully as well, and WWE gave the fans time to take in what had just happened. This is what good eliminations are all about. Be nice if more went this way. Number 3, Shawn Michaels dangles for victory. Seeing the British Bulldog toss HBK over the top rope in 1994 was all anyone needed to assume he'd won. We'd seen that time and time again, but that's not what happened. Instead, Michaels held on to the top rope and ensured only one foot hit the floor, meaning he wasn't out. Within the realms of the story, this confused everyone as Davey Boy Smith's theme music even played, before Shawn returned to the fold and knocked the Brit from the turnbuckle to claim the win as his own. If that wasn't enough, Michaels had come in at number 1 and Bulldog at number 2, so the depth here was quite something. Rewrote what an elimination meant from that point on, that takes some doing. Number 2, SNITSKY kills Paul London. The term best eliminations is always going to come down to personal taste, but if hard hitting stiff shots in the mouth, which are then followed by that same wrestler smashing his face into the floor and seemingly dying, well, none will top this. But that's what happened at the 2005 Royal Rumble, where Paul London found himself in the worrying position of being on the apron after being pushed over the top rope. SNITSKY noticed this and just wailed on London with a clothesline, which London decided to sell by doing a backflip to the floor. It looked amazing, but the problem was he came down face first and took the entire blow on his nose. Number 1, Batista ends Michaels' dream. This is not the smoothest elimination ever, and nor is it particularly spectacular. However, if you're looking for drama, you won't find a more dramatic moment in Royal Rumble history. During the 2010 Rumble, as mentioned, Michaels was desperate to win in order to guarantee himself a shot against The Undertaker at WrestleMania. So when he found himself dangling from the ring before Batista clubbed into the floor, you could almost see his heart break, pun intended. Scrambling to try and hold on before falling, the first thing HBK did when he hit the mat was hold his hands up to his head in a moment of sheer despair. He even lost the plot and tried to get back into the match before realizing what had happened and just accepting defeat. It's a fantastic display of storytelling and psychology, and that's what makes it number 1. It pulls at your emotions, and emotions are what wrestling is all about.
Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe below, and if you're looking for more content like this, then try a few things that are floating about around my ears. It might be fun. I can't promise it though, but it might be.